Hi everyone, it's Christina. I thought I would do a little play with making, well, they're more like masks than they are stencils. They do work as a stencil, but they also work as a mask. And I wanted to make some natural circular patterns with fill-ins of just different types of mark making. Now, I already did some yesterday, so I've got a pile and I'll show them at the end. And what I wanted to do today was just explore a bit further. So using a hot glue gun, and underneath is a silpat mat or a macaroon mat, so it's a silica mat. And the black bit I've got there is it's a sort of a barbecue mat that you can put on top of your barbecue and cook with, and you take it off and your barbecue still is not messed up, and it's a heat proof mat. So what I've done is press that on top of the glue gun just to press them down a little bit. Now they still are a little bit raised. That's one I'd already made previously, and I'm just making another one. I have seen the other day I was watching someone who ironed it, and I thought, well, that's actually a great idea because you can get it quite, who was it? It was Robin McLennan. She ironed it, so I didn't do that today, but I think I'll do another one where I have an attempt at ironing. And so the thing about these mats is obviously I've just touched the nozzle down onto it, and you can see that I've lifted it up off the mat, and so it's pulled up a bit. So that's just one of the little things with this non-stick stuff, and that's okay. It doesn't really matter. I mean, to me, it just gives the opportunity to create other shapes. I have the threads that are coming through the glue gun, and I don't mind them either because they can, they can be something interesting. This is the moment where you have to be quite out of your head and just do. It's like doodling. It's just like doing a doodle, but with a glue gun instead of a pencil. So this is basically my process with the glue gun. One thing I wanted to play with was not only different types of paper, but also material. That was a bit of satin that I was just cutting down to the right size. Now, I made this gel plate ages ago, and you would have seen me make it in my tutorial section. I can link it up in the top right corner. And it is a bit rough and ready. I've got it upside down at the moment. I think I've used it both ways. So it's got quite a curve to it because of the bowl I used it in. I think it still works. I think that you can see the lines of the roller there coming out onto it because it's not a totally flat surface. But in the end, when you put your little glue gun mask or stencil onto that and push down something over the top, it's being flattened out. All right, so it's not absolutely perfect, but I didn't want absolute perfection for this. I was making all the bits of material and paper that I've made to be used for collage. I wasn't making one bit specifically to be one particular focused art piece. So this is the effect on the material. I'm using acrylic paints from my local $2 store or my art shop. I've got a variety there. Now I'm finding that using these masks, I can get a variety of different mark making. So I've got first the paint down, and then the mask over the top. So that gives a particular look. Then I can use the mask as a stamp, which gives another look. And then there's the residual left on the actual gel plate that will give you the shape and the pattern. This was one of my favourite bits, that one that I just made. It's very earthy and organic. Now I love adding a bit of gold in, and so I'm just going to build up layers and make a variety of different, same principle, colour down, mask down, or in this case it looks a little bit like a stencil because those holes are so big, but it still acts as a mask because there's nothing around the outside of it to block off the outside. I'm going to put a little bit of music and let you watch a bit, and at the end I'll come back and show yesterday's and today's once they're dried. Enjoy. Okay, I've come to the end of my jelly print making and enjoying how I can see the circle through the background of that, and now I'm just going to take you through yesterday and today's in slow time, not sped up, so you can have a look at all the different effects that there are. If paper's a bit folded, you get a nice little white gap. The gold adds a whole other dimension, and even those ones like the one on the right there that could look a bit muddy, I can overdraw on that with Posca pens, tear it up, use it as a background. And even I love my rollout sheets. There's so much collage fodder there. There was actually my favourite one. I must do something with that on its own. It'll have its own unique place in the little series I'm going to do next. Some of it looks like eyes, some of it looks like brains. Such a variety using a little round jelly plate. There's the one I was enjoying earlier. I can see so many things in some of these. So these ones were from yesterday, and I got that lovely pebbly look. Now, I had used a variety of papers yesterday, so that's some sewing paper, sewing pattern, and it's got a little bit of watered down Mod Podge on it first to make it just that little bit tougher, and then I use that in printing. I have used some fine tissue paper yesterday, and even just little scraps. And this is what I was using today. This is the greaseproof paper, which is very similar to deli paper. I'm calling it deli paper, but it's in Australia, it's called greaseproof paper. Oh, I love that. I'm going to definitely be making something from that. Well, I'll probably make something from all of them, but just the little collage series I want to do, I'm thinking about. So once again, I was using a oblong jelly plate for these ones yesterday and the round one today. Some of these came out very green and blue, and I was thinking mermaidy and playing with a bit of that packing paper. So some of them from yesterday's series will actually be lending themselves to more of a sea theme kind of collage. Quite like that long squiggly glue stencil mask that I made. It seems to have I don't know, it's just like it's interesting to me. Of course, I didn't know when I was making it what it was going to look like, and that's how it ended up. That one was a bit see-through if you held it up to the light. So here's the material. It's still a little bit tacky, which I found interesting, and it didn't get as vibrant as I would have liked, but it'll still be able to be used. So this is a little bit of thin muslin, which I use in my tag coming up, Tag Tuesday, and a bigger square of muslin. And this was the other one that was really light, but once again, it'll be usable. You can use it for things. So now I'm just going to lay out my little glue gun stencils or masks, and there's one I didn't actually use, so guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Going to be having another play. Days of fun. That little blobby one wasn't quite as successful as I would have liked. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.